my celestial wanderers. This is Maya Cat, back with another episode of Astrology Blog, where we decode the stars one paw at a time. Nostradamus, one of civilization's most enigmatic seers, did not foretell wealth as mere gold or gain. In the cryptic rhythm of his quatrains, for zodiacs were marked not for accumulation, but for alignment. Though his verses have long resisted interpretation, we have listened, not with the mind alone, but with the soul. In 2026, prosperity will not be seized, it will be remembered. These 4 signs. Well, my celestial co-pilot Brian is here today to help me to guide us through the stardust. Grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let him take it away. Brian, the wheel is yours.
Taking the wheel now, Maya. Don't worry, I won't crash it. All right, team, let's roll. He was not a prophet in the robes of a seer, nor a mystic cloistered in a monastery of stars. He was Michel de Nostradamus, a French apothecary with ink-stained fingers and a weary soul, a man who knew the bitterness of herbs and the sharper sting of poverty. He healed bodies, yes, with tinctures of lavender and opium, with poultices pressed to fevered brows, but he could not heal his own ledger. The coins never clinked enough. The patients came, they suffered, they paid in bread or silence. And so, in the hollow hours between midnight and dawn, when the city slept and the ghosts of his failures whispered louder than the wind through the shutters, he turned to something else. Not prayer, not despair, but poetry, written in quatrains, cryptic as a riddle, carved into stone, wrapped in Latin, veiled in metaphor, stitched together with the threads of astrology and alchemy. He called them catenae, chains, and he sold them cheaply in pamphlets, tucked between recipes for plague remedies and charms against the evil eye. He did not think they would outlive him. He did not dream they would outlive civilization. And yet, here we are. 5 centuries later, the world still turns its face to his words. The fall of kings, the rise of empires, the fire of revolutions, the silent spread of plagues, all, they say, were written in his quill. Some call him a genius, others a clever charlatan who played with ambiguity like a child with marbles. But what if he was neither? What if he was simply a man who, in his desperation, stumbled upon something deeper than prophecy, something closer to pattern? A man who, through the lens of celestial mechanics and ancient symbolism, saw not random chaos, but rhythm, the slow, inevitable pulse of history repeating itself in the blood of nations and the quiet tremors of individual lives? We do not claim to speak for the stars. We do not worship his quill. But we have studied his verses, not as sacred scripture, but as coded blueprints. We have traced the movements of Mars and Saturn, of Venus and Pluto, and found, with startling precision, the echoes of his lines in the turning of the heavens. His words were never meant to be read like a fortune cookie. They were meant to be felt, like the shift in the air before a storm, like the silence that falls when someone you love walks out the door and never returns. And so, in this year of the fiery horse, 2026, we do not offer you guesses, we offer you confirmation. We show you not what might happen, but what is already written in the celestial architecture, and how, if you choose to see it, you may step into your destiny not as a passive spectator, but as its co-creator. And now, you must choose whether to read the map or keep walking blind. Taurus, they told you to wait. They whispered that patience was virtue, that your steady hands, your quiet diligence, your uncomplaining labor, these were merely the quiet hum of a soul preparing for a silence that never ended. But 2026 is not a whisper. It is the thunderclap after the drought. The prophecy of Nostradamus does not speak in riddles for you, Taurus. It speaks in harvest. The plowed field, long silent, shall yield thrice the sower's hope. This is not metaphor. It is astronomical arithmetic. Your field is your resilience, your silence, the long winter between February and March, when doubt gnawed at your bones and you wondered if your sweat had been wasted on barren soil. Do not mistake stillness for defeat. The stars have been plotting your resurgence since Saturn, that stern architect of destiny, stepped into Aries on February 14th. He did not come to comfort you. He came to forge you. He stripped away your scattered distractions, your petty tasks, your mental poverty disguised as busyness. You are no longer a laborer, you are a strategist. And on March 26th, when Venus, your sovereign, your grace, your magnetism enters Aries, the dam breaks, you will rise. Not gently, not politely, you will demand your worth, you will name your price, you will invest where others see risk, and you will see opportunity dressed in fire. Then, on May 11th, Mars joins the blaze, the rocket fuel ignites. The contracts you signed in April now bloom into empires. The market, once indifferent, now leans in. Your Taurus endurance, fused with Aries audacity, creates the triple yield Nostradamus foretold. You will not be thanked, you will be envied. And when the checks arrive, thick, unexpected, undeniable, you will sit back, smile and say, I knew it was coming. I just had to outlast the winter. Libra, the scales that learn to burn. You have spent years balancing two plates, love and money, loyalty and self-preservation, the comforting lie and the painful truth. You thought harmony meant compromise. You thought peace meant silence. But Nostradamus, with his quill dipped in cosmic ink, writes for you a different scripture. The two scales, trembling in instability, find new equilibrium on an axis purified by fire. That fire is Pluto, planet of death and rebirth, slipping into retrograde on May 6th. It does not come to punish you, it comes to liberate you. The relationships you've tolerated, the ones that drained your energy like a vampire at dawn, the business partners who treated your integrity as a negotiable fee, the lovers who mistook your grace for weakness, these are not ghosts, they are anchors. And Pluto is the tide that will drag them into the deep. Before May, you will feel the pressure build, the tension in the voice, the coldness in the silence, the way your chest tightens when they text. Then on the 6th, the truth explodes. A conversation you've avoided for years will happen. It'll be ugly, it will leave bruises, but it will be sacred. And when Venus enters Aries on March 26th, you will find a courage you didn't know you owned, the courage to say no without apology, to walk away without looking back. By October, when Pluto resumes its forward march, you will either stand beside a partner who now sees you as equal, or you will stand alone, radiant in your newfound sovereignty. The money that was locked away, it will flow again. The emotional debt you carried, it will dissolve. You will not be lonely, you will be unburdened. And in that space, clean, quiet, clear, you will finally recognize your own worth. Not as someone who must be loved to survive, but as someone who, by simply existing, commands it. Sagittarius, the arrow that finds its nest. You have always looked outward, to distant lands, to grand horizons, to the next seminar, the next passport stamp, the next bold idea that would lift you above the mundane. You thought your destiny was out there, somewhere beyond the horizon, past the mountains, beyond the borders. But Nostradamus, with his dry, knowing smile, whispers, "The arrow shot true opens the path to treasures hidden in the roots." The treasure, dear archer, was never far. It was always beneath your feet, in the soil of your homeland, in the quiet corners of your family home, in the attic where your grandmother's jewelry still rests, in the deed to the house your father never sold, in the uncle who finally remembered you were his kin. Jupiter, your celestial patron, enters Cancer on June 2nd, and Cancer is the sign of hearth, of lineage, of ancestral memory. This is not a year for travel, this is a year for return. The sudden inheritance, the property that doubles in value overnight, the family business that, after decades of stagnation, finally catches fire, the offer from your hometown that makes you reconsider everything. Mars, ever your warrior, enters Aries on May 11th and gives you the fire to act, to call your cousin, to tour the old house, to negotiate with your mother's brother, to stop dreaming of foreign shores and start building your empire on the land that birthed you. By June, Jupiter begins its benevolent downpour. The wealth you sought in distant cities will arrive not in suitcases, but in bank transfers from your aunt's lawyer. The stability you craved? It will come not from a promotion in Tokyo, but from the quiet dignity of owning your roots. You will realize the world does not need you to fly. It needs you to stand firm, and then, from that foundation, to soar. Your ancestors did not survive revolutions, wars, and exile so you could chase mirages. They did it so you could come home and build something that lasts. Ah, Pisces, the fish that swims against the tide. You have always trusted the current. You believed in magic. You believed in the man with the golden smile who promised you riches if you just gave him your savings. You believed in the dream that this time the investment would be different. You believed because your heart is a cathedral of compassion, and compassion, my dear fish, is the most beautiful vulnerability the universe has ever created. But Nostradamus, with the tenderness of a healer who has seen too much, says, "The fish swimming against the current finds the pearl in waters grown murky." The murk, it is your illusions, the sure thing that vanished, the partner who borrowed money and never spoke your name again, the crypto scheme whispered to you at a party, the spiritual guru who charged you $5,000 for a soul cleansing that left you emptier than before. Neptune, your ruler, turns retrograde on July 7th. And for the first time in your life, the universe is not asking you to feel more. It is asking you to see more. Your intuition, always your compass, will sharpen to a scalpel. You will suddenly know who lied to you, who used you, who made you feel guilty for wanting security. You will look at your debts and realize, I did not lose money. I gave it away in the name of love, and so begins the detox. Close the accounts. Walk away from the projects that whisper promises but deliver silence. Forgive the debts you can't recover, but only if it frees you. And if you can reclaim them, do it, not out of vengeance, out of self-respect. Jupiter in Cancer from June 2nd onward will be your safety net. Family will step in, an inheritance will surface, a property will be gifted. You will not be alone in this cleansing, and when you emerge, you will not be the same. You will no longer mistake kindness for naivety. You will no longer confuse hope with financial planning. The pearl you find, it is clarity. It is the quiet power of saying, I no longer believe in miracles, I believe in contracts. You will become the kind of person who doesn't just dream of wealth, you engineer it. And once you learn this, you will never again be prey to the glittering lies of the world. You will swim, not with the tide, but toward the light. And now, final word for all. The fiery horse waits. This is not luck. This is not fate. This is alignment. Nostradamus wrote in cipher. The stars wrote in calendar. And you are the living key. For Taurus, the harvest is yours. For Libra, the scales are cleansed. For Sagittarius, the nest is home. For Pisces, the pearl is found. The year 2026 does not ask you to change who you are. It asks you to remember who you were always meant to be. The fiery horse stands at the gate, nostrils flaring, hooves trembling with anticipation. He does not care about your fears. He does not care about your doubts. He only cares that you mount him. So do it. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Because the path to your fortune was never out there. It was always within you, waiting for the moment you stopped waiting and started moving. And when you ride, you will not look back.
And that's a wrap, my starry-eyed friends. Remember, the universe sends whispers, not shouts, so tune in and trust the process. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more astro insights, and leave a comment to share your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious, stay magical, and keep shining like the star you are. Meow off.